everyone, Greg Cazillo from Cazillo.com. Had a really good question this week from Captain Mike about choosing a photo lab and exporting those digital files for prints. So let's get right into it. So first, how to choose the correct type of file to send to the lab. I will send a JPEG file the majority of the time. For my prints that are less than 20 inches, that's my file of choice. If I'm going above 20 inches or above 30 inches up to 6 feet or whatever the size print that I want to go to, then I will choose a TIFF file, which is a little bit better quality, not as much compression, that kind of thing. And so that should be an easy answer there. Concerns of the lab will accept the type of file. All I can say is you have to ask them. Make sure that they can accept the file. Make sure that they know what they're talking about when you ask them what's the difference between a TIFF file and a JPEG file, and see if they can send you some samples, that kind of thing. Upon editing your RAW file, is it edited RAW, the file renamed in order to keep the original RAW file intact? I actually will refer you back to my Lightroom workflow video, although it does apply to both Lightroom and any other program like Aperture or even Photoshop. The basic steps are the same as far as your workflow. It goes from importing photos from your card all the way to exporting pictures. So go ahead and take a look at that video, and it should help you with that process. But to answer the actual question there, you're renaming your RAW file first, and then you're exporting your other digital JPEGs, and so you will not rename them in any way. You'll just have one will be .nef or .crw or whatever the Canon extension is, or DNG, and then of course the JPEG is going to be .jpg or .tif or TIFF files. Simple. How to choose a file size and resolution to send to the lab. I always send, or probably 90% of the time I'd say, send my digital files at 4,000 pixels on the long side. The majority of my prints I keep within the normal sizes, the quote-unquote normal sizes, the 4:5 ratios, the 4:3 ratios, maybe a square one here and there. But once in a while, if I'm doing something custom framing, and then I will just crop it to whatever I think looks best and send it out that way. And so that's why I say 4,000 pixels on the long side. Now, as far as the other info there, sRGB is a definite for both the TIFF files as well as JPEG files. Some labs can handle Adobe 98, which is a little bit larger color space, but not a lot. So make sure that you ask them before you send it, because otherwise your colors are going to look kind of weird. If your colors look kind of weird and muted when you get your prints back, that is usually a sign that you are exporting in the wrong color space, in ProPhoto color space, rather than going into sRGB or Adobe 98, and your lab just doesn't know what to do with the file, or they don't pre-process the file, making sure that it's in the correct color space. As far as resolution, I just exported the default of 240 out of Lightroom, although as seen in this video, resolution does not matter when printing digital photographs in just your normal photo prints. Let's see, what to look for in a lab. I prefer Miller's Professional Imaging. I have been using them for about 10 years. They're an excellent lab. They have a lot of really good products. Excellent customer service. They have albums, they have prints, they have sports products, they have press stuff. They have so many different things that I can sell, that I can start selling, that I haven't even started selling or offering. And a lot of times a client will just come to me and say, do you have this or do you have this? And I can just look on the Millers and say, yep, I got it, and I can print it and do it. So simple as that. They're good quality, good customer service. I enjoy working with them, and they have not done me wrong. Another really great thing that I like about them is they have overnight shipping that's free, and their minimums aren't too high. I think it's a $10 or $15 minimum order, which once again is not super expensive. So same with the print prices, they're very reasonable. If you can, I forget what the restrictions are for Miller's as far as getting an account. If you cannot get an account with them, I suggest checking out their sister site, which is mpix.com, mpix.com. That's just their sister company, and as far as I know, the major difference is some of the products are not the same in between one to the other. There's a little bit more of the retail side rather than the professional side of things, as far as the products that they're offering. And as far as I know, they do not offer any phone customer service on the MPIC side. They only offer online and or email customer service, whereas on the Miller side, I can pick up the phone and talk to someone that's here in the United States, is an American, and they know exactly what I'm talking about. They probably already answered my question that I have 50 times before, and so that's one of the things that I recommend and think about there. What else to look for in a lab? Consistency. That's big. Products. How good their customer service is. We talked about all the stuff. I think that's it. All right, what to watch out for in a lab. Number one, how good is their customer service? Is someone actually talking to you? How quickly can you get someone on the phone? Obviously, during busy times like Christmas season, maybe senior season, it can be a little tougher to get somebody on the phone, but just keep that part in mind. Watch other stuff to watch out for. If you use a term like sRGB or like Adobe 98 or TIFF file or JPEG file, and they have no idea what you're talking about, you should probably run away very, very quickly, because simple things like that, simple answers, simple questions, they should know the answers to those right off the top of their head, be able to answer them, because that's going to be a question that they get often. All right. And I think we talked about consistency of the prints, consistency of the products, good pricing. Make sure the pricing is good. Is it out of whack for what you're charging, or is it too high for your market that you're trying to work with? That can make a difference. So that's about all I can think of right now. If there are any additional updates, I'll put them over on the website, on the article page of the site, so that you can find them too. And also, a lot of people will add comments, so I will feature those comments again or mention those comments again over on the website if someone comes up with something good. Do you have Lab send you a small proof print before you print 16 by 20? No, very rarely. Once again, that comes back to that consistency idea. As far as Miller's concerned, I've been using them for so long. Between the fact that I use the color calibrated monitors, I know my workflow, I expect my prints to look like, and I know how they're going to print. I very rarely need to worry about any kind of a proof print, or do I very rarely need to send anything back to them because I didn't like it. So that's pretty much it. Thanks, Mike. I do appreciate you submitting the questions here. And by the way, in the future, I've kind of been exploring the idea of working with an Epson printer, and I may or may not have bought a 24-inch printer, and so I'm playing with it. If I like it, if things are turning out well, then I will probably do some videos on it. But as of right now, the majority of my prints and things are still going going out to the lab and getting done. But I'm trying some stuff out. I'll let you know if anything changes there. If you have any experience with your own machines, your own printing, I'd like to hear them. And questions about that stuff, I'll do my best to answer them, although it's not my forte as of yet. But I'm doing my best to get into that realm, because I know the printing and the inkjet printing and all that stuff, the machines, the Epsons, the Canons, those machines are very, very popular, and the quality is getting better and better and better out of those. So it's definitely interesting, and I'd like to explore it at least a little bit. If for no other reason, maybe just my sports stuff that I do, maybe some of the shows and some of the events that I do, maybe printing in-house. Some of that stuff might make sense, just to have a little bit higher print margin, dollar margin on those. So it's something that I'm exploring for the future. How's that sound? Greg Cazillo, Cazillo.com. Thanks, guys. Keep shooting. See you.